Over the years, various U.S. intelligence agencies have developed in our nation. From the CIA to the FBI and countless other agencies, our nation has been molded by their efforts. However, from the 1950s to present day, intelligence has changed from putting spies out overseas to cyber espionage.
A major event in the 1950s that the CIA participated in was the Korean War. By the spring of 1950, North Korea's preparations for war had become recognizable. Monthly CIA reports described the military buildup of DPRK forces, but also the possibility of an actual invasion. Some North Korean communications were intercepted between May 1949 and April 1950. This way, the CIA was able to guide American generals like General MacArthur during the war and help them strategize their attacks. The Central Intelligence Agency sponsored a variety of activities during the Korean War, among which were behind the lines of maritime operations.
April 17, 1961, marked one of the most infamous failures in the CIA's history. Known as the Bay of Pigs, Richard Bissell was a major CIA officer who wanted to invade Cuba and kill Castro. Eisenhower planned it, and Kennedy authorized it. However, Kennedy pulled the plug on the operation at the last minute, resulting in Cuban nationals being stranded on the beaches and the operation being deemed as a failure.
It is clear that the forces of communism are not to be underestimated in Cuba or anywhere else in the world. The advantages of a police state, its use of mass terror and arrest to prevent the spread of free dissent, cannot be overlooked by those who expect the fall of every fanatic tyrant.
In the 1970s, the Pentagon Papers greatly affected the public's perception of the CIA. The papers were discovered and released by Daniel Ellsberg and first brought to attention of the public on the front page of the New York Times in 1971. An article in the New York Times said that the Pentagon Papers had demonstrated, among other things, that the Johnson administration, quote, systematically lied not only to the public but also to the Congress, unquote. This put the president and the CIA into a troubling position.
During the 1980s, the CIA's biggest gun-running mission was its global pipeline to the Mujahideen, or the Holy Warriors of Afghanistan. The CIA secretly sent millions of dollars of military aid to the Mujahideen in Afghanistan in a U.S.-supported jihad against the Soviet Union. The CIA also provided arms to rebel Contras in Nicaragua to oust the Sandinistan government. As the event became public, it was widely thought to be an illegal act of President Reagan and the CIA.
In the 1990s, the FBI captured Aldrich Hazen Ames, an American who was convicted of espionage against his country in 1994. Ames was formerly a 31-year-old CIA counterintelligence officer and analyst who had access to the files of nearly every important spy working for the U.S. behind the Iron Curtain. Ames committed espionage against his country by spying for the Soviet Union. So far as it's known, Ames compromised the second largest number of CIA agents, second only to those betrayed by Robert Hanssen. This is an act in which the U.S. intelligence agencies began to spy on U.S. citizens themselves.
On a clear September 11, 2001, the World Trade Centers were attacked by a radical jihadist movement. Following the 9/11 attacks, the CIA lost most of their credibility in dealing with terrorist attacks. Seeing that the CIA was on the verge of dissipating, they revamped their efforts in the field of counterterrorism. There are many conspiracy theorists that believe the CIA possessed information about the attack before it even happened.
On May 1, 2011, President Obama addressed the nation with a speech stating that a raid had been conducted to kill Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda. This raid was a result of 10 years of the combined effort of the United States Armed Forces and the CIA Counterterrorism Unit. Bin Laden had threatened that he was on a mission to kill all Americans.
Over the last 10 years, thanks to the tireless and heroic work of our military and our counterterrorism professionals, we've made great strides in that effort. We've disrupted terrorist attacks and strengthened our homeland defense. In Afghanistan, we removed the Taliban government, which had given bin Laden and al-Qaeda safe haven and support. And around the globe, we worked with our friends and allies to capture or kill scores of al-Qaeda terrorists, including several who were a part of the 9/11 plot.
ISIS emerged about a decade ago as an affiliate of the terrorist group al-Qaeda. The group incited the Iraqi Sunni Muslim minority against the country's Shiite majority. ISIS has massacred many religious minorities and even American journalists, along with many others from various countries. Even though America sent airstrikes to attempt to alarm them, ISIS is still holding executions and directing threats. Currently, U.S. intelligence agencies are accumulating information about ISIS in order to combat their threat.
In conclusion, throughout the decades, the U.S. intelligence agencies have transformed from deploying agents to the field to cyber espionage and counterterrorism.
Today, as more technological advances are present, the CIA is able to accumulate even the smallest details of their investigation.